Youcat, question number 436. How should we treat the environment? We fulfill God's commission with regard to creation when we care for the earth, with its biological laws, its variety of species, its natural beauty, and its dwindling resources as a living space, and preserve it so that future generations also can live well on earth. In the book of Genesis, God says, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." Having dominion over the earth does not mean having an absolute right to dispose arbitrarily of animate and inanimate nature, animals and plants. Because man is created in God's image, he should care for God's creation as a shepherd and steward. For the first book of the Bible also says, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it." We see that in Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. Question number 437. How should we treat animals? Animals are our fellow creatures which we should care for and in which we should delight, just as God delights in their existence. Animals too are sentient creatures of God. It is a sin to torture them, to allow them to suffer, or to kill them uselessly. Nevertheless, man may not place the love of animals above love of man. Pope John Paul II would say, "You are rightly committed to protecting the environment, plants and animals. Say yes even more decisively to human life, which in the hierarchy of creatures ranks far higher than all other created realities of the visible world." Question number 438. Why does the Catholic Church have her own social teaching? Because all people as children of God possess a unique dignity. The Church, with her social teaching, is committed to defending and promoting this human dignity for all people in the social sphere. She is not trying to preempt the legitimate freedom of politics or of the economy. When human dignity is violated in politics or economic practices, however, the Church must intervene. The joy and hope, the grief and anguish of the people of our time, especially of those who are poor or afflicted in any way, are the joy and hope, the grief and anguish of the followers of Christ as well, says Second Vatican Council. In her social teaching, the Church makes this statement specific, and she asks, how can we take responsibility for the well-being and the just treatment of all, even of non-Christians? What is a just organization of human society, of political, economic, and social institutions supposed to look like? In her commitment to justice, the Church is guided by a love that emulates Christ's love for humankind. Question number 439. How did the Church's social teaching develop? Catholic social teaching was a response to the economic problems of the 19th century. Whereas industrialization had led to an increase of prosperity, the ones who profited from it were primarily factory owners, while many people sank into poverty as laborers with practically no rights. From this experience, communism drew the conclusion that there was an irreconcilable opposition between labor and capital, which must be decided by class war. The Church, in contrast, advocated a just balance between the interests of the laborers and those of the factory owners. The Church recommended that not only a few but everyone should benefit from the prosperity recently made possible by industrialization and competition. She therefore supported the development of labor unions and advocated protecting laborers from exploitation through legislation and government assurances and insuring them and their families against sickness and emergencies. God bless you all.